Hi, my name is Sarah Servillo, and I'm a midwife here at Heaven Sent Homebirth.
And I'm Catherine Ward. I'm Sarah's student midwife.
So today we want to talk to you about water birth, mostly some safety stuff about water birth, how we set up a birth tub, and what are the benefits of utilizing a tub. I think there's a lot of misconceptions out there that babies drown. That's not even a part of their physiology as they're being born unless there's a pretty severe complication. So maybe you want to cover a little bit of how that physiology works as a baby's born.
So when a baby's head comes out of the mom and air hits their face for the first time, that stimulates them to start breathing. So when a baby's born underwater, they don't have the air hitting their face to stimulate them to breathe yet. So a baby won't take its first breath until it's exited the water and been brought up out of there. And sometimes those babies take a little bit longer to start breathing because they're so warm and wet, just like they're still inside mom. So yeah, they're definitely not drowning.
I've even seen some babies do a guppy move on their way out.
So cute.
The other thing that I would say is you do want to be careful with the temperature of your tub. So you don't want it too hot, you don't want it too cold. You want it around 98 to 100 degrees. That's usually ideal. Any colder and your baby can lose some of their body temperature, and that can cause some complications. Also, it can raise your heart rate, whether it's too cold or too hot. And neither of those are really great for a baby in your womb. So you want it to be warm enough it feels really good, but you don't want to make it so hot that you're sweating and getting fatigued just because you're in hot water. And that kind of allows you to use it for longer periods of time too. So if you're, going to be, you wouldn't sit in a hot tub for 5 hours, right? So you want to make sure it's a temp that you can tolerate for longer periods of time.
There's lots of benefits. I've seen them as a doula and as a student midwife. One of my babies was born in the water. It's known for its pain relieving benefits and relaxation benefits. If you're someone who likes to take hot baths, outside of pregnancy, then you might gravitate towards a water birth more. It can kind of relieve the effects of gravity while you're pregnant.
It just feels good.
We're
trying to come up with all of these benefits, and honestly, the majority of the reason is pain relief. And it's just being able to really fully relax as much as you can during labor. That's really the biggest benefit that I've seen. And so how do we set up a birth tub? Well, first we talk to our clients about whether or not they want to buy their own tub, rent from us, or if they're going to use their own bathtub. Obviously, if it's your own bathtub, you just want to make sure that it's deep enough. That part of that mechanism that Catherine just talked about is you want to make sure that it's deep enough so that water birth is safe, because you don't want air to be exposed to a baby's face during that birth process if you're planning a water birth. So once a baby's face is exposed to air, this is now a land birth. This is no longer, we cannot dunk the baby after its head is out. So you just want to have a bathtub that's deep enough that a baby will stay under while it's being born. If you want to rent a tub, we actually have a kit that we give people at their 36-week home visit. It's a gigantic Tupperware, and it contains a birth tub, which just blows up like an air mattress. There's also a little portable pump that comes with the kit. There's a disposable liner. So you basically blow it up like an air mattress, you put a disposable liner on it, and then there's also a floating thermometer that you can throw in there. So you fill it up with hot water. Sometimes people will put a tarp or shower curtain liner on top of it. It does usually take 2 full tanks. Depending on water pressure, depending on how good people's water tanks are in their homes, can depend on how fast you can get it filled. So if you've got an older home, maybe a not so great water heater, it's probably going to take 2. So you'll want to fill it up and then put that liner on to retain its heat, and then fill it up the rest of the way. But you don't actually have to fill it completely full. It is going to disperse when you get in it. So you want to aim for maybe half to 2/3 maybe full, and then go from there. Then after your baby's born, we actually have a really easy way of cleaning that up. So we have a submersible pump,
Mhm.
and we use the same hose that we use to fill up the tub. It does get thrown away, obviously, but we hook that up to a submersible pump, and then the other end of that hose goes into your toilet. So we essentially pump the water out in through your toilet, and then that disposable liner gets gathered up and thrown away, and then we wipe the tub down and deflate it. So it doesn't actually take too much time.
Not too bad.
Yeah. And if you're thinking of how common water births are, we did do our statistics for last year, and we found out that roughly half of our clients had water births. So there were a few more that had bought tubs and maybe used them during their labor. They just didn't ultimately have their babies in those tubs. So that was just an interesting little factoid.
Yeah.
But I hope that information was helpful for you, and we will see you next week.